Good afternoon. We are today in the Cornish kitchen and we're about to cook hungry turnip. Now, swede or turnip. In Cornwall they're called turnips. Today I'm going to show you a very quick recipe that is absolutely well worth your trying. It's called hungry turnip. You get and quickly go round the centre section of the turnip like this. I'm trying to do this as fast as possible so that you're not wasting your valuable time. This is a very interesting recipe and it's absolutely well worth trying at home. It's called hungry turnip because the ingredients we use make it so appetizing that people who would never normally eat turnip or swede absolutely love this. So as you see, we're not wasting anything. I'm only doing the centre section. I could of course use the whole turnip, but I'm using just the centre section because that's the bit that we're cooking today, because there's not that many people going to be eating it. You can only eat so much. So on your sterilised work surface, first cut the turnip in half, like so. And then cut it about there. And that's about, I suppose, about 3/8 of an inch. That's about 9 millimeters, 8 to 9 millimeters. And we'll do a few like that. This is something women might have a little bit of difficulty with, smaller frame women, because of the strength necessary to hold the swede and cut at the same time. You do need a sharp knife. So there we have excuse me, the pieces we've cut, 3. I think that should be enough for tonight's meal. So what we'll do is put those on the plate for a moment and put the other pieces to the side. Cover the table so it looks a little bit nicer for you to see what's happening. Now what we've got here is a baking tray, and we've got fig leaves, Cornish fig leaves, and we're going to lay these on the baking tray like this. Now we're cooking this meal in middle of November, and the lot of the goodness has now gone from the leaves as they start to die off, and so we're not going to get the full flavour, but it's still worth doing. So what we do is to produce a bed of fig leaves, and don't be afraid to tear the leaves, so you get a complete bed to cover all the holes. Anything hanging over on the outside can be transported further in. Now remember that these leaves do need to be washed. Obviously they've been outside with all the bugs on them alike, and so there you have it, your bed of fig leaves. Now coming back to these little fellows, I'll lay the slices of turnip or swede to one side, And now what we need is some extra virgin olive oil, and we'll put some of this onto the plate. Very easy recipe, very quick to do, right? About that much to do to start with. Now we add quite a bit of salt. And then we add some garlic granules. Just from a normal Asda, or just sprinkle some on top. Black pepper. We have paprika. Obviously you can sprinkle this to taste, but you can't really put too much on. Well, like, that's not true, but of course you can put too much on. And now the secret ingredient is the nutmeg. You sprinkle nutmeg on, quite a bit of nutmeg. That's ground nutmeg. And finally is your celery seeds. And you just open the packet. And I'm going to be putting a good fat pinch. That's probably about 3 pinches of celery seeds into it. So we can get the rest of it. Pour out too many, so we get the rest back into the packet for a moment. Okay. Now what we do, right, is mix it up with your finger. Doesn't need, or you can use a spoon if you're worried, but you're going to get your fingers a little bit sticky anyway. Mix it up, then get your turnip and basically rub it in. Give it a good shake, and then you place it on top of your fig leaves. I'll show you that again in a minute. You take your second one, rub it in, both sides, place it on top, and your last one, rub it in, it's well covered, and place it on top of the three. Now I'll bring that forward so you can see it in the camera, and what we're using then is to just let it, use your thumb, push it down off the plate. This is the rest of the goodness and the flavour. I always say that a cook or a chef is not prepared to get his or her fingers covered with food, is not really a proper chef. So just cover that top one, because the heat will cause it to marinate over. And then we're getting the rest of the fig leaves, and we're now going to cover up the turnip. As I said before, don't forget to wash the leaves. Those which are overhanging, just break them off, and then push the whole lot down. Now that is going to go into the oven. That's what it looks like when finished. That's 3 large slices of the centre of the Swede. You can of course cook more of them. And to remind you of the ingredients, we used nutmeg, we used garlic granules, we used black pepper, we used of course table salt, we used extra virgin olive oil, we used celery seeds, and we used paprika. Now we'll pop that into the oven, and that will stay in the oven for about 2 hours, baked at 175 degrees Fahrenheit, and at the end of that time this will be an absolutely delicious vegetable. You can cut it up into smaller portions. It is something to be tried, and I honestly suggest that you try this dish at home. It's called Hungry Turnip, Cornish Hungry Turnip, or Hungry Swede, whichever way you want to call it, but Hungry Turnip is the traditional name. Okay, and hopefully I'll show another video when it comes out of the oven, but otherwise, if I don't, please do try this yourself, because you will not be disappointed. Obviously in season, when the fig leaves are fresher and they're not dying down, you'll get more flavour, because there's a slight delicate coconut flavour that comes from the fig leaves, and it's well worth experimenting. And of course the fig leaves keep the moistures in and keep all the vapours, and cause them to re-marinate into the turnip, into the swede, as you bake it. Okay, thank you for cooking. Thank you for cooking. Yeah, well, you thank me for cooking, and I thank you for looking. And you have a lovely day now, and thank you very much indeed.